I'm Dr. Kristen Scatliff, and you're on with MdFeme. We're here for another episode. We have a very special guest with us, but I want to welcome my sisters in this struggle. Dr. Kimberly Works out in Atlanta. Say hey. And Dr. Candace Wall Bennett out in Pittsburgh. And we just want to welcome everybody to listening to the podcast. Thank you for following us for so long, all these episodes. And we have on a special guest, okay? I got approached by her PR people, and I'm so glad that I was because, I mean, her products are the bomb, okay? She is the creator of SoulBalm Sisters. That's BALM, so SoulBalm Sisters. And we want you to go visit their website, but we're going to be talking about their products and their mission. And this is Wahne Tubman. Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you ladies tonight.
Yes. So teach me what's the correct way to say your name so everybody that's listening to this will know how to say your name so they won't walk up to you in the street and call you Wayne.
Yes. So my name is a Liberian name. It's pronounced Wahne. And it's a very common name in Liberia, although my mother spelt it different because I think in Liberia it's typically spelled Wanni, but she is a big avid Scrabble player. And so for her, she was like Wahne. And of course, a lot of people call me Wayne, but I was like, okay, but it's Wahne.
It's a beautiful name.
And it's a very beautiful name. So quick question, when did you tell us a little bit about your background? When did you come to the States? How did you end up here?
Yeah, so my family is, I was born in Monrovia, Liberia, which is a small coast off the west coast of Africa. If you know a little bit about, and I'm glad it's Black History Month because a little bit of history of that. Liberia was founded by ex-slaves from the United States that went back to Africa. And my last name is Tubman, which is a very well-known African-American name, Tubman. And the husband of Harriet Tubman was one of the people that went back to Liberia and found. So my family comes from the Tubman family. And then my dad was, and my dad.
Yeah, that was,
My mind is blown.
I know, right? I was just like, wow.
I got chills.
Thanks for sharing. I know you're not done, but thank you for teaching.
I know. I was like, whoa. we could call it a wrap. We could wrap it up right now. We've done enough. That's Black History Month, everybody. Go on.
Isn't it? And and it's so, I mean, Black History Month means so much, I think, that people don't do it enough justice. But anyway, so my dad was a diplomat. He worked for the United Nations, and we came over here when I was, in kindergarten, first grade. And I've traveled a lot of different places, but predominantly lived in the United States. And then when I was maybe in my 20s, I became a naturalized American, and so I've been here since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is like, I want to say your second career. Is that correct? This is your second career doing the products.
It might even be my, like they say the cat has 9 lives. I feel like
yes.
I've had a lot of lives. I started off wanting to, I wanted to be a model, and that was just like not happening.
I can see that.
For my
parents too.
You should still go there. I know,
right? Because your skin is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I was like, you're giving me those, 80s vibes, like Naomi kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you, ladies. And so I wanted to be that so badly, but my mom was like, and when we were living in New York, I got like what they call, scouted on the streets. I mean, I'm like a woman of a particular age. So back in the day, there was no internet or whatever. So if somebody saw you, they would just be like, I want you to, and it was Eileen, the Ford agency. And I was like, I really want to do this. And my mom said, sure, she can do it, but she can't wear makeup, right? So of course it was like, okay. And then it became, well, then you have to finish school. And then it became like, okay, I lost interest. And then there was a lot of things, but so that was my first thing. And then I wanted to own a restaurant because I really think that deep down inside, I'm a people person. I like connecting with people. I love hearing people's stories and, and being empathetic to that. So I was like, okay, I want to be a restaurateur. I graduated from school. I went to school in Pepperdine University in California. And then I moved back to New York. And I was like, okay, I'm going to work in a restaurant and then go to culinary school. And I think I did that for maybe a week. And I was like, there's no way I can work in a restaurant. It's like you smell like fish, like
all the time.
I just remember like all the time. And I was like, I cannot like live with my hands smelling like this. So maybe I won't own a restaurant.
That's the importance of shadowing right there.
Exactly. And then I wanted to be a hairdresser, but that was actually one of my top 10, but I never did it. And then I moved to Miami. I started just like, not really finding a place, right? I just had a undergraduate degree, and with an undergraduate degree, it's not like you can't, you need more, right? It's not enough, right? So I was like, what am I going to do? I applied to NYU and I got in to do a graduate program in interactive at the Tisch School of the Arts. And then I got a degree in the internet. That's when the internet was just sort of starting. And I did interactive telecommunications, and I focused on the internet and telling stories through, like, there was these old programs called Micromedia Director, and you could build games and stuff like that. So I got into programming, and I worked for banks for a really long time on software teams, and my focus was really on user experience. And then after that, I got sort of like, okay, I want to do more with consumers, and my family cousin owned a company called Shea Moisture. And he said, why don't you come work with us, and you can learn the business. And so I did. And I went to work for Shea Moisture until they sold it. And I worked a little bit for Unilever. And then this is how I got into what I currently do in the beauty business.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty
Wow.
amazing.
So I want to say that, you just highlighted something very important right there in your story. So the importance of trying, number one, and the importance of mentorship and shadowing, as Dr. Work alluded to earlier. Like, I feel like we all had kind of stories, like we tried things and we switched it up and we switched it up. So I'm kind of glad you found this niche, because your products are,
Thank
found
you.
it, sis. You found it. That's all I gotta say. So I noticed, I don't know what year Shea Moisture sold, but you can notice a difference in the
You
product.
can notice difference. The quality.
The quality
Moisture.
changed.
Was it Caroline's daughter? Carol.
Mhm.
You can
Carol's daughter.
Carol's daughter.
Yes.
can
When
tell
the
the
product
difference.
went from being the mom and pop to the mass production, it's something changes. Something's off. So no shade to those brands. I mean, they held us down for a while, but then when they change it up, you're like, whoa, what is this, water? No, that's not gonna work. So
yeah, I think one of the issues comes with when, so the way things are made, like now, like how I make my stuff, where it's small batch and it's sort of handcrafted, and then it goes to like this mass produced, because natural ingredients are, organic, right? So they have a shelf life and they're whatever. And I think that and this is a theory, I don't have any facts in it, but just from my understanding of how things work in those big things, when they buy like in bulk these ingredients and stuff like that, and they also like don't like, sometimes shea butter is a different shade of yellow, right? And so it's never going to always be the same. And sometimes they don't want that to happen. They want it to always be
Uniformed.
White. And natural things are not uniform, right? You guys are all doctors, so organic things are just always going to change, and organic fruit is sometimes going to taste better one month and different another, depending on the harvest and this, that, and the other. So it becomes harder to manage in terms of, I think, costing and stuff when they can't control it, right? Because they can't like have an expectation of maybe this pH level of something and then they get something slightly off. So I think maybe, and I don't have any proof, but that is leads to some of the things that they have to change so that they can try to keep it as consistent to each batch, you know, over time. And I don't think it's just Shea Moisture. I think if a lot of companies that go from sort of this small, you know, production to sort of mass produce, I think they all have to deal with that because of the fact that
it's not just skincare, it's clothing, it's everything. The minute they go to mass production, quality for some reason gets sacrificed, right? And so it kind of goes back to the concept of, you know, we're living in this lovely American society where people want it now, they want high quality, and they want a good price. Well, you can't have all three. Right? You can't have all three. And that's the problem with a lot of these natural products, right? If you want to get the source, right? You want real shea butter, you're gonna have to pay for real shea butter.
Right. And you're gonna have to you're gonna have to wait the time. Right. If you notice this year, I feel the fruits, I don't know where you guys live, but where I live, it's like the fruits are not sweet anymore because they're trying to force ripe them because they lose their flavor, right? So they taste like nothing.
You think this is just this year though? I feel like it's been going on for a while.
Engineered stuff.
I think it's real pronounced. I think it's real pronounced because I mean the oranges.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, the orange has been terrible. You're right.
Exactly.
That's true.
I'm like, let me know if something's going on, guys, because I won't buy no more. Just let me know. But I'm like, it's water, and it's you know, there's a whole company. I'm so sorry. There's a whole company that's like geared to it, and I'm gonna go find the name of the company so I can let the watchers know. But it's all about the vegetables and the fruits that the market doesn't want to sell because they look funky.
Yes,
those are the natural ones that are not messed up with. That I think I'm gonna start going to that.
I need a supermarket.
Ones.
I need a supermarket just for those. I would buy there. Just throwing it out there
because you know everything's all shiny and stuff, and negligent. The think up stuff is better.
So going back to your lovely product, so I could see you having that problem in the future. How do you think you're gonna manage that, like the mass production, like going from you handcrafting?
I mean, I think that's just something that we will just try. I don't know if it's avoidable, right? But as long as I can, it's definitely something that that's also makes the difference between buying from somebody like me and buying, you know, if that's really important to you in terms of that. But then there's also accessibility, right? Because I'm not mass produced, a lot of people can't have access to it. So you have to trade it up. It's like, well, to get access, you have to make certain, certain like trade-offs, and and then we just have to manage that, because if I always stay small, then I'm only going to be of service to a few, right? As opposed to when I grow, then I'm able to impact and reach others. And then maybe in time, maybe it's how things are distributed, right? So maybe today things are just like, maybe there's just one central place where they make everything, whereas maybe you can have things distributed in different places. Maybe make things in Africa close where they get the source, instead of bringing the shea butter to America and then whatever, maybe making it there, you know. But the infrastructure in Africa right now is not at a place where you can rely on it. So a lot of times they take the raw material from there, but if you left it there and gave people jobs and opportunities, and then that it would be closer to the source, and you would have more places to source from, as opposed to like, you know, we source this year and then we stockpile it in this place. So I think that could be a solution to having sort of keeping things wholesome and more natural.
I must say that's one of the things, sorry to cut you, Kristen, that I really loved, like in your website when I was reading it, I saw that you actually sourced it from Liberia that you gave back to the community there.
Mhm.
I really like that, I must say.
Yes.
I agree. That was very potent, and it goes back to kind of like a if we're talking about Black History Month, and we want to be Pan African and pro African. Let's talk about the fact that the whole basis of colonization and capitalism is why you have that problem you're talking about not leaving jobs and opportunity there, but outsourcing these natural resources, just pushing them out and then storing them elsewhere. And literally the vitality of the substance is leaving, right?
Mhm.
So like I feel like because that happens in the Caribbean too. It happens everywhere. Like they just go, they find a resource, and then like, oh, we want it, and then they go and they put it in a warehouse, and
Mhm.
the vitality just goes down. So how do you stay authentic to who you are and to the product and still grow your brand?
Mm.
That's
I mean, so for me, because I feel like I am a global citizen. I told you I was born in Liberia, but I'm now American. I lived in America. I've lived in Europe. I've lived in a lot of places. So I don't feel like I feel the world belongs to everyone, right? And as the world opens and people travel and stuff like that. So what is authentic? I think authentic is things that I feel like are serving others, like are true to others, things that I would use myself, right? And not harmful to the planet, to myself, to the people that benefit from my product. And I think that for me is authentic. I'm not pushing something that I wouldn't want to use for the fact that I'm trying to make a dollar. And that's very important to me, right? And thinking of the people that the women, especially, like I was a single mother, right? And so um for me, I had to find a way to take, I was really lucky because I had technology as a way to take care of, like I I had technology as a way to take care of me and my son, right? And so I was able to have a, give us and provide for us a good life. And I feel like a lot of women don't have that. And I want to be able to um, teach them or help them or show them like how, and through the business that I'm going to build, to give this opportunity to women to be able to sustain and take care of their families. And I think that is the authenticity that I will keep and sort of bring to my brand. I was doing we're also doing a thing for Black History Month, and we're highlighting people in the beauty industry that have impacted Black people who have impacted the beauty industry. So this tonight or maybe tomorrow, we're sending out a thing about Madam C.J. Walker. What I really like about Madam C.J. Walker, people think she was the first Black millionaire. She was actually the first female millionaire, period, not just Black, right? And additionally, she had she was a woman who had a need, to do something. Her hair was falling out, and she was living in a time where women were marginalized. They were either, they could only be housekeepers or farmers or whatever. And she decided that she just dreamed big and she wanted to do something about it, right? And so she decided to start this. She also trained women, right? She trained women, and she was actually like a formulator, an engineer. Like she had technical skills in the time when she was like just, in a time where women were not even allowed to vote, or and especially Black women, they just had absolutely no rights. And this woman had no idea of limitations in my mind. Like I imagine her,
She did.
yeah. And she just like said, no, I'm not going to be this, I'm going to be that. And so I just feel like it's really important. My SoulBalm Sisters is about the sisterhood of that, and then how strong a sisterhood is. I mean, you guys work all women together. I can only imagine what it's like the especially female doctors. I think that's just so powerful and so special to have Black female doctors. I wish there were more of you everywhere.
We wish there was
We're
more
trying.
of us too, sis. We're trying.
We're trying. And actually, why I say it today is Black Women's Physician Day.
On February 8th, we celebrate the life of Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumper, the first Black woman medical doctor in the United States in 1864. Nearly 160 years after Dr. Crumpler became a physician, there are still less than 3% Black women physicians in America. The lack of African American doctors exacerbates the existing disparities in our healthcare system. This day of observation for Black women physicians highlights the importance of more diversity, equity, and inclusion. Remember, representation matters.
I don't know if you guys know that.
It is
So,
today.
Oh, wow.
so happy day to you guys.
Happy day to you too, Dr. Works. Thank you. Thank you. We're at only 2%. Is that a correct percentage?
It's 2 or 3%. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2.
All the physicians. Yeah. Of all the physicians. There's so much more of us out there. So, mentorship, again, the power of mentorship, the power of seeing it happen, and not being defined by a box, not being defined by, if I listened to what people told me, I would not be here.
And the
You gotta
power
be
of
able to-
history, the power of history, because if you don't know these stories, right, about women, like then you think there are so many Black women, Black people in history that have been disregarded, overlooked. Their stories have not been told, and the young people think, oh, they didn't do anything, but that's so far from the truth, right? And so if we don't push Black history, each and every one of us, about how we've contributed to the world, I don't even want to say to America, to the world, right?
Right.
And the importance of that, we have to. They can't only just study the Mayan Empire. They have to study Timbuktu, and they have to study a lot. They can't erase our history, right? It's so important.
They're trying.
Yeah,
we can't let them.
we cannot.
They're actively trying with this
Actively
whole movement
trying.
against critical race theory and removing African American history from
AP classes.
From the AP classes. And then the other move was trying to put Black conservatism as a class, if I remember correctly. DeSantis, Florida.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah. Oh yes, Black conservatism. That's what he called it. I was like, okay, bro. No, that's a no. Okay, that's a no. As there is power in our history and our ancestry and knowing where we come from and in knowing how we've contributed. And I feel like 28 days is not enough. So for us, 2023, every month will be Black History Month. Thank you so much. And that's officially from MdFeme. Just so you know. All right. But I want to talk about your products specifically because we got a chance to try them. And raving. Okay, first of all,
thank you for sending them.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I hope everybody got it. I know there was a little bit of mix up, but I hope everybody in the end got it.
We all got it. And I just want to shout out this.
Yeah, like that.
Oh,
yes.
the shower steamers.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I like it a lot. That was my favorite thing of the whole package. Was the shower steamers.
Yeah.
Good.
First
the
of all,
eucalyptus
I love the
mint.
insert. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So
that is my favorite thing.
That came out of Essence Festival. So I started with bath bombs. Those were the first things that we did. And I did have a business partner when I started. She actually was making the products. I didn't know anything about making products. I was there to do marketing and sales. And so then it fell apart, and I was stuck with this business where I was like, okay, I have to figure out how to make this stuff. I don't even know how to do this. So I took a formulation course that they have online, and then there's a lot of forums and YouTubes and stuff like that. But we went to Essence, and at Essence, a lot of the women would be like, I don't take baths. Have you made shower steamers? And I didn't even know what shower steamers were. And so when I came from Essence, I looked into that, and we started experimenting with shower steamers. And then that is what you get from, again, adversity, because it was like, I had just lost my business partner. I didn't know how to make bath bombs, right? And also I was like, okay, but I can learn, I will learn about shower steamers. So the shower steamers are my first recipes, even though it wasn't my first product.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
so
premier
Yeah.
product right here. Premier
I
product.
know.
I'm telling you,
I was definitely excited about that. Because I thought they were bath bombs, and then I got disappointed because I don't like them. I was like, oh, okay, another gift to give someone else. I was thinking, and then I read it, and I was like, oh, this is different, and I've definitely enjoyed them.
awesome.
So I'm glad
Enjoy them.
adversity
I love
that
the
came out of that.
instructions. I love the instructions, how clear they are,
Right.
where to put the shower.
I know.
Because I was about
Throw
to
them
put
to
it
the
in the
right.
full. I was about to put it through the full stream, and I was like, nope. She said to put it off. Okay, and I mean, when the eucalyptus hit,
Mhm.
I was like, oh,
Oh,
this
that was my
is
favorite.
clearing out.
Oh,
I'm like,
nice.
woo! I loved it,
Mhm,
loved it,
mhm.
loved it. So
That
really good
awake is
product.
really awake, by the way.
Yeah, listen,
That was a
yeah.
great name. I was like, all right.
Nice. Nice.
Really
Yeah.
good product.
Well, we could go. My favorite. I could go to my
Mhm.
favorite. This
What's your
buddy
favorite?
butter. Oh,
Listen.
Yeah, the body
This
butter.
buddy butter. OMG.
I don't think people
If
understand. Look at the consistency. Like, wait, look at the
It's
consistency.
thick.
Oh my goodness.
Thick, and it's still soft. That's
Yes.
what
Yeah.
I love about it, because
it.
I mean, you get some shades and you're working to put this thing into your skin. And
Oh, that's true.
working.
You
Oh my
working.
goodness.
This is not.
You
This
are
is
too.
not this.
You know,
This is like whipped. This is like whipped butter. I was like,
it's
ooh.
literally like whipped butter. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is whipped
That's a-
butter.
It is.
It is
It
whipped
is
butter.
whipped butter. It is
Yes,
whipped
yes,
butter.
yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So
And
I
then
didn't read
how
it.
you
I didn't
feel
read
after?
It. I
Mm.
didn't read it when I used it the first time, and Candace can actually, Dr. Wong can actually attest to this. So I went and took my bath, and then I put this on, okay? And then I was talking to her, and I said, I feel real comfortable. I feel real relaxed. What's going on?
Let's put it
And then
this way. I
boy-
couldn't put it on before I came on this podcast because I would be real relaxed right now.
Oh wow.
Which is good for bed.
It was very good for bed. And like for me, I'm an ICU physician. So I stay on a very high stress level. And when I'm done working those weeks and I come home, I'm like, when I was finished this week and I came home and I showered last night and I put this on, I was like, don't talk
Yeah.
to me. Like, talk to me for like, I'm in Zen place right here. Just put the candles on, just like, I'm in Zen place.
But I have to tell you, you guys are my, like when you do marketing, you say who's your persona, and literally, well, they were healthcare providers. She's a healthcare provider, because I felt like this is when you're like super stressed. You've been on your feet all day and you've been dealing with people, like coming at you, and you're just like with a smile.
Sound about right.
That sounds about right.
Yes, that
I
sounds
think you've
about
been
right.
looking at me at work and I didn't know. But yeah, that's exactly it. You have to keep this face on, and then you're exhausted. You're exhausted.
Yes. And then where are you in this mix? You have to recharge yourself, because you have to do this again tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
if you're not like rebuilding and with like recharging and finding like taking a moment for to get connected with yourself, then you become lost in the sauce, is what I say, right? You become lost in the
Amen.
sauce.
So true.
Yeah.
I'm so
Speaking
sorry.
truth
We're
today.
gonna coin that for MdFeme. Lost in the sauce. That's gonna be like a t-shirt or a tote bag. We'll put a quote for you. Okay. Now, my favorite product was my guilty pleasure. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you
This
like that?
oil. Ooh. This oil. I actually have it on right now. My skin.
You know what's funny? I have to tell you a funny story about that, my guilty pleasure.
Oh,
So
okay.
she gave us 3 oils. It was the
Yes.
pink
Mhm.
soul
Pink
sugar,
Yep.
sugar,
the
right.
sweet orange spice, and my guilty pleasure. And I have them
Yes.
out on my bathroom, literally,
Mhm.
like all of them
Wow.
on my bathroom. And I actually had to take up the my guilty pleasure and be like, this is for me. And literally put it under my things, because I share bathroom with multiple children, husband, all of them. I was like, no, this my guilty pleasure is for me. Literally,
No sharing this one.
no sharing.
And that's why I live alone. And that's why I live alone.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it, and I have to say the washcloth. I had to wash it and come to show it to everybody. But so I have a pet peeve about washcloths, and I don't know about the
Mhm.
other ladies, but the traditional washcloth I think is completely unsanitary. Okay. And they've made some new ones that are basically very rough. They're like exfoliating, but they're not really for like everyday bath. And then you sent us this. Okay. And I just want to
Mhm.
say, this is it. Okay. Because first of all, it lathered up really well. It was
Mhm.
soft on my skin. Okay. And it's going to dry and
Mhm.
not hold mold and bacteria.
Yeah.
If
I
this was a
loved mine as
flag, I
well.
would wave it. If this was a flag, I would wave it.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
it. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. So thank you. Thank you. I'm like,
And
woo.
that's again African innovation, because that thing is very known. It's a fishing net. It's traditionally a fishing net, and the
Oh my
people
goodness.
Oh,
It's a
started.
really?
C net. I knew it. I
Oh,
held it. I said, this is a C net.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice,
Yes.
nice,
Oh
nice.
my gosh.
and
oh.
they
I
started
didn't.
using it to bathe, and then they recognized that it could dry really quickly. It was great to exfoliate the skin. You got it, like you can do your back, instead of like just doing whatever the front. And it was a really good, like, sloughing off the dead skin. You're going to notice your skin to get smoother and smoother. If you know, a lot of Africans have very smooth skin.
Smooth, beautiful skin.
But um so yeah, and that's one of our secrets. That African exfoliating net is
Listen to me.
what they call it.
I picked that thing up and I looked. I said, "This feels like a sea." Because my grandfather on my mom's side was was a seaman. But he was a
Oh
captain. He was a
wow.
seaman. Okay,
Mm.
so we were around we saw fishing things all the time. And I was like, "This looks like a sea net." I was like, it really bothered me. But now you're saying it. I wasn't going crazy. It's a sea net. I got it now. Oh man, it's amazing. It's
Mhm.
Yep.
amazing.
And it's easy to
So
clean. You just put it in the washing machine. You can take it to the travel with it. It travels well. It's perfect. You're gonna
listen.
see, the more you use it, you're not gonna be able to use anything else.
Well, I
Listen,
can't wait for that.
guys, let me tell you something. This is
I
endorsed
agree
by
with that,
Dr.
actually.
Scatliff. Dr. Scatliff. Throw away those nasty body mitts and those washcloths. Get you one of these. Thank you so much.
I
Thank you
think
so
I
much.
said to everyone. So if you didn't get
You
it, let me
did.
know.
No,
I
Okay.
got
you
the
did.
purple one,
You
which is my
did.
favorite
I
color.
really enjoy it, I must say. I
I just
really
want to tell you
enjoy it.
something that I did. It was funny with that. I wasn't looking, so I used the oil, and I was like, "Why is this not lathering?" And then I read.
Okay.
Yep. So then I read it, and then I used it properly, and I loved it. So I'm let you know
Okay.
that was on me. That's not nothing with marketing. That's just me not reading. I was like, "Oh, it's purple. Her the favorite color." And like, there's 3 oils, and oils, not bath oil. So
So
Yeah.
don't feel
bath
bad.
wash.
Don't feel bad, Kim, because Candace had to correct me. I saw the exfoliating scrub and I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh no, I don't want an exfoliating scrub. My skin is really soft. I hate these scrubs that really hurt. And she was like, no, 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 that's the soap. That's the soap. Go use it. And I was like, oh. And then when I put it, I was like, oh.
It's
It was
not.
Yes.
hilarious.
It's
So it
really
wasn't
not a
honey.
scrub.
I saw scrub and I went,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want.
Mhm.
It's gonna be rough. And as soon as I put it, I was like, oh, this is melting. Oh, because my two
Yeah.
pet peeves with scrubs are, number one, they don't melt like that, and they
Mhm.
leave the stuff in your shower, eh?
They do.
And then
Oh,
you
they
gotta clean your
do.
shower. And I hate. And this does not do this. This does not do this. So
Yeah.
this
It's
is
an
really good.
emulsifying scrub. Yes, yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh,
So reading is
Yeah.
important.
yeah. Reading
Read
is
it.
key, guys.
Yeah. And it works really well with the net. So you just need a dab of
It
it and put it with the
does.
net, and then
This
it's
is.
a
I
great
have so
exfoliant.
much.
It
I have
it
so much of this
lathers
thing left.
so much.
It
Oh
lathers
no,
so
I'm like,
much.
I think I use too much. I'm like
No,
literally
this is
water
good.
No
done.
such thing.
No, you
does it
only
come in
need a
different
little bit.
scents?
Seriously, you only need a
You
little
you
bit.
you really only need a little bit. You really only
Does it
need a little bit.
does
It
it
goes a
come in
long
different
way.
scents? Does it come in different
It
scents?
does. It comes in the guilty pleasure. It comes in the pink sugar. It comes in all the same
Really?
scents.
Wait.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
this comes in guilty
Oh,
Pink
pleasure.
sugar.
This
it
yeah.
comes
comes
in
in.
guilty pleasure.
It does. It comes
OMG.
in guilty
Shut it
pleasure.
down. Shut it down.
It comes in guilty
I'm
pleasure.
on the website tonight. I'm on the
You have
website
new
tonight.
customers, lifelong
Oh my
customers.
gosh. You got lifelong customers. This comes in guilty pleasure.
Pretty
That's it.
good,
It's a
pretty
wrap.
good.
It's a wrap.
Yeah,
It,
it
It's a
comes in
it's
wrap.
a
guilty
wrap.
pleasure.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
And then
I'm
also want to
excited.
say that packaging was beautiful.
Oh,
very beautiful. When I opened up the box, just the aroma that came out.
Yes, it hits
So that was
you.
very good marketing. It hits
It
you.
really
It's like
does,
like
yeah.
I'm going to, like I went to a spa.
No,
I do want
that's
to say that it
exactly
was
it.
very pleasant opening up the marketing as far as the packaging and so forth, because that's important. Taught us about business, being a businesswoman. You taught us about knowing your truth. So this was a good podcast for me.
Awesome. It was nice.
Yeah, it was awesome meeting you.
Yeah, it was
Sure,
nice
thank
meeting you
you.
guys and being here listening to um beautiful women, all professionals, African Americans that embrace my product. It means so much to me because this is really a labor of love. I like what I do. I love what I do, and I just want it for others to when people tell me that they like it, it just makes a difference because it's so difficult to be an entrepreneur some days. Today I had a $300 return because a friend of mine wanted me to send something to Spain, and Spain apparently does not take personal care products at all.
Really?
So yes, they do not. So if you want to send anything to anybody in Spain from the United States, it cannot be bath bombs, bath oils, body butters. You can send essential oils, but that's about it. So we just learned that the hard way. So it was rough because there was like 3 different orders that went out there. So it's nice when you get like good feedback, and all feedback is good because it's information. You take that data and you put it into creating something better or more. And I'm really grateful that you guys have access to my products, and that that you gave me this feedback, and looking forward to doing more stuff with you guys.
Yeah,
as
yes,
the business
definitely.
grows.
I see a partnership forming in the future, but I just want to say thank you for coming on, and your spirit, your vibe, like all the information you provided us. We really, really, really thank you for this. I feel my soul was nourished. I just, thank you
Nice.
so much. And you have lifelong customers here if you didn't
Oh,
pick that
yes.
up already. So, but we want to thank everybody for tuning into MdFeme, and we ask you to follow us on IG, on Facebook. Come to our website, www.mdfem.com. Go to SoulBalm Sisters and buy you a whole pack, not no one product, a whole pack, okay? SoulBalmSisters.com. The kit gets you the kit. You got to get the scene net. You got to get the whole scrubs. You got the guilty pleasure oil, the shower steamers. Come on. It's Black History Month. It's 360 days for us, basically. But
Yes.
for you, it's 1 month. Okay, so no problem. We thank you for being on here with us. And, be heard, be healing, be healthy. Bye.
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 Bye.